Hey guys, it's Zudweg here. So, a lot of you guys have been following me on YouTube for a long time, and I think I've had my YouTube channel for probably, I don't know, 12 or 13 years maybe, and a lot of the fly tying videos and things like that I've put on there over the years, even though a lot of them had some, a fairly good number of views, I just took them down just because personally I didn't care for them anymore. And honestly, I've never done any YouTube stuff or social media stuff for anybody else but me. Selfish, maybe. Really, all that kind of stuff has just been because I wanted to do it. I didn't care about subscribers or anything like that. But I think, I don't know, 340 or some odd number of you have subscribed to me over the years and have stuck with me through my random fly tying videos and random maybe preaching or advice or thoughts, random thoughts. It's just been really random over the years. So I have decided, along with my wonderful wife of 26 years, which I will introduce to you shortly, that we're going to change my YouTube channel up, and it's going to become our YouTube channel instead of just my YouTube channel, because we have lots of fun and exciting things that we want to do. We are at the point in our lives where we are almost empty nesters, and so we have things planned, some exciting things that we want to post to our YouTube channel. And if you want to follow along, awesome, that would be great. We would love to have you. If you don't, I completely understand as well. So that's just kind of my rambling thoughts, just to introduce you to the change that's happening to my YouTube channel. And so thank you for following me, and I hope you will continue to. So let's get on with what I'm talking about as far as the change is going to be made. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to grab my wife, and we're going to talk to you guys about it. So let's go. So, if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm just making this up as I go. You're going to see a lot of unedited videos from us on YouTube because I hate editing. So anyways, this is my beautiful wife, Mishawn. We have been married for just over 26 years, 26 and a half years. The best 25 of my life. And the best, how many of your life?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's debatable.
About 10 maybe.
She pretty much just puts up with me a lot of the times. I feel lucky that I'm still here with her. So anyways, kind of our first, let me try to hold this camera a little easier. Yeah, the video quality, I'm not sure if it's super good on this. I'm just doing this with my iPhone, but eventually I'll be using my Canon and a fancy microphone with the fuzzy thing and all of that. I'm going to try to be professional, yes. Although editing, probably not much of it. So anyways, kind of just to get you up to speed on the change that we decided to make to my YouTube channel. It has just always been under my name, Matt Zudweg, and so we have decided to change that to, what is it?
ZudVenture.
ZudVenture. So together we are kind of known in our friend group as the Zuds. So I'm like, we need to do something about the adventures that we're doing and the adventures we have coming up. And she said, how about ZudVenture? And I said, sounds good. So we're going with it. So
come on, a ZudVenture
logo coming soon.
Yes.
So, and kind of the first ZudVenture that we are not necessarily in the middle of right now, but going to be in the thick of very quickly that we're going to be recording, is building our new home. So just maybe 3-4 months ago, we sold our current house, which we were absolutely in love with, We sold it to my daughter and my son-in-law, Morgan and Cody, and we were never planning on selling it. We were going to live in that for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
And they approached us at one point saying they would like to buy our house if we were interested in selling. And so the idea was, in my head, is this would be such a great house for them. They want to raise and train Labrador retrievers and have a kennel and all that jazz, their own business. And the house that we're in is really a perfect house for that.
Yeah.
So it was all about doing this for them initially. Although I had no clue what a sacrifice we were actually making to do that.
Yeah.
I would do it again in a heartbeat, but I really had no idea about like the building process and all of the stuff that you have to go through that's not fun at all. I was determined from the outset to make this a fun, adventurous thing for my wife and I and not get stressed out. And I've already gotten stressed out and we haven't even put a stick in the ground yet. So I blew that. So going forward, here I am setting a new goal, not to get stressed out, but to make this a fun, adventurous process. I'm trying not to shake the camera. I should have put it on a tripod, actually.
Oh, well.
But like I said, unedited. We're not professionals. We'll try to get more professional. So, sold our house for the last 2.5 months. We've been living in a travel trailer that we bought. This right here, it's actually a really nice travel trailer. It's like a 40-footer, like park model. Yep. So it's been comfortable. Yep. Although I was sick for about a month with COVID, and it got really small during that month for her especially.
Yes.
Yeah, she did not like me very much, and I didn't like me very much during that either, so that was pretty sucky. But I'm recovered. It's all good.
Yep.
And so what we did is we live next to some storage units that are on like 10 acres of property, and I decided if we are going to sell this house, I want to buy the woods right next door, which was not for sale. So I approached the storage unit owners and asked if they would be willing to sell the back portion of their property, which is just all beautiful woods. And they said, yeah, we'll do it. And I made them an offer, or they told me how much they wanted for it. I counter offered, and they accepted. And so I'm really thankful for that. So we ended up with what we thought was going to be 3 acres. It ended up being 3.3 acres. And it's just a perfect setting. Like, we're super excited about this setting. So basically for the last 3 months, I've been cutting trees down and sweating and bleeding more than I ever have in my life. So we are both in our early 50s. I'm 50. She's somewhere around there. No, she's 51.
Thank you.
She's 51. I like older women. So I won't edit that out either. So I've been cutting trees down. I'm working harder physically than I've ever worked in my life. Like, seriously, I don't ever remember in my entire life sweating through a shirt. And I'm doing that like twice a day right now. It's ridiculous. So it's probably keeping me in good shape, but it's also completely exhausting. So at this point,
doing a lot of laundry.
She is. She's complaining about the laundry every day. She's like, why are you going through so many clothes? So we have all of the trees cleared, and I'll take you for a walk over there here shortly. And the trees are cleared. I've got the septic permits. I've got all the permits I need except for the building permit, but that should be all set this week. We're about 2 months behind where I was hoping to be at this point. I was hoping to be building this thing in June, and here we are, what is it, almost August, and we haven't put a stick in the ground yet. But we were really delayed from our township because of zoning stuff. It was commercial property that we had to have rezoned to rural residential, which was a 2-month long process. So that put us way behind where we were hoping to be. In the end, it was probably a blessing because lumber prices have been ridiculous. And if I would have built in May and June, we would have been paying the highest lumber prices possible. So lumber prices are finally starting to come down, which is great. We haven't purchased our lumber for the property yet. We probably will be in the next week or two. Exciting news though, we are seeing progress tomorrow. The excavators are scheduled to come tomorrow. It's going to be a really quick $12,000 out of our pockets, but it's going to be progress being made. I'm really excited to see all the stumps pulled, to see all the grade work done. It's really going to change it up. But I'll take you back there in a few minutes and we'll see what I've done so far.
I think it's important to document like where we are right now. And being able to follow the adventure of each of the steps.
So like I said before, we're really not doing this for anybody else but us. But I think this is going to be fun for other people to watch the process as well. I mean, I watch nonstop YouTube videos about what I'm into at the latest moment, which lately has been planning on building a house or mountain biking, So I'm either watching mountain biking videos or pole barn construction videos, stuff like that, because and that's another thing, what we were going to do is we were going to build a 40 by 50 pole barn house, and it was going to be divided down the middle, so 20 by 50 garage and 20 by 50 living area. But because all of these prices have come in so much higher than I expected, and we decided not to get a mortgage, we're just buying this house off the cash that we have on hand from the sale of our house. So we're going cheap. It's going to be cool, but we had to scale back some things. So we're not going to do a garage at all for the moment. We are going to do a 24-foot by 50-foot pole barn, which will be our living space. And then as we save more money and as lumber prices come down, we're going to add a 16-foot lean-to off one side of the house for the garage. And we're going to add a 8-foot lean-to off the other side of the house for a patio. So it's going to be a work in progress. We're starting small. Right now we're living in our camper, so it's going to feel ginormous. Even though it's only 1,200 square feet, it's going to feel huge after living in this for 3 months, or it's going to be longer than that.
By the time we live in this camper for 6 months and then finally move into the house, it's going to feel really big.
And at this point, we don't even know if it will be livable by winter. If it's not, plan B is not as glamorous. We're pretty much probably going to be living in my daughter's garage for the winter. So we'll see how that goes. But we're in Michigan, so we can't live in this camper all winter because things go bad. Water freezes and lots of things become a lot harder.
Water freezes and we freeze.
We go through a lot of propane. So without further ado, this is the first episode of many of ZudVenture, right? ZudVenture.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So I'm going to flip this camera around. We're going to go for a little walk, and I'll show you the property where we're at today. Here we go. Okay, so we're rolling. A couple things I want to talk about as we're on our way over there. So our old house is right there. We are currently living in our camper in the side yard. A couple of the things we're going to do is I built this off-road adventure trailer, and I'll probably sell that one, but I also built this off-road adventure trailer, which is super cool. We have a bed in there, and we're going to be taking some adventures on that in the next few years for sure. So between the property and our old house, I have cut this trail through the woods, but I'm currently working on putting wood chips down. So we're gonna follow that cool little trail here. Believe it or not, I just did this trail with my lawn tractor. I'm pretty sure I destroyed a couple mower blades doing it, but it worked. I had to cut a few trees down here and there. And this is our dog, Ginger. She is 12 years old, and she is so excited about us going for a walk over to this property every night. It's crazy. It's like she knows something's happening here. She knows it's going to be her future home. So it's not a very long walk over here, but it's really cool. And the sun is really bright looking up there right now. So hopefully this turns out okay. You can see Ginger's just excited about being over here. Oh, there goes some deer. Ginger, stay here. Stay. Come on. Just spooked a couple deer out of there. Did you see the deer? Oh, they were standing right there. So I have a trail cam set up over here, and I have a lot of videos of a doe and her 2 fawns. They're over here all the time. In fact, I might post a video that I took the other day. I was over here just doing some raking, and the 2 fawns came within like 30 feet of me. Like, they were totally unafraid. So I'll post that too, because that was pretty cool. So here is our property. So if I look to where we just came, it's all trees. And believe it or not, all of this was just like that. This was all trees. And I have cleared out enough for the completed house. You know, once we have the garage, the porch, and everything, it's all gonna fit within this cleared area, as well as the septic tank and the drain field. And over there, I'm putting in a 12 by 24 shed, like one of those Amish built sheds. So one of the first things I had to do when we decided to build back here, we're about in the middle of our property right here. One of the first things I had to do was clear a driveway. So this was already somewhat clear. I only had to, where the driveway is right now, where you're looking, I only had to take down maybe a dozen trees. And so you can kind of see up there, I have a private property sign, because we were getting a lot of people on quads back here. Come on, Ginge. And so I put that up there, but that's kind of the driveway. I did all of that with my lawn tractor as well, the trusty Husqvarna. So here we are coming from the driveway, and as we go over here, I have a couple stakes in the ground. So this whole left side, this driveway is going to go into what will eventually be the lean-to garage, the 16 by 50 lean-to garage on this side of the house. And that stake over there is the other side of the house, and then the porch will go beyond that. And here's our cat. That's Misty, one of our cats, and she follows us over here every time we go for a walk. So excavators will be here tomorrow tearing it up, and I will be filming it because I'm trying to document all of this stuff for us, and hopefully you guys get something out of it as well. But I have a lot of firewood from all those trees I've been cutting. I have all that firewood over there, and then I have another huge stack of firewood over there. So I probably have about 15 to 20 cords just from the trees that I've taken down. So stay tuned for excavators in the next video. Thank you for following along.